Hi, I want to have a little chat about the horrific events in Norway last Friday. It's going to be a really tough video to make because under no circumstances do I want to align myself with this crazed killer, this white supremacist, Christian fundamentalist. I don't want to be seen to be in the same group as him. But at the same time, I guess I do share some of his Islamophobic views. I've checked his manifesto. His views against Islam are a bit too right for me. I don't agree with ideas such as banning immigration from Muslim countries. I don't want to deport Muslims from Europe. I think that's ridiculous. But at the same time, as an atheist, I'm not a big fan of Islam, and people who know me know that about me, that I'm not such I don't really like Islam very much, and I feel as if people like me are being put into the same category as this sick fuck, and I just find it really dodgy. Again, this is a tough video to make because I don't sympathise with this guy whatsoever. I think he's a fucking moron. I would never hurt someone, let alone kill anyone. So I just don't like this guy whatsoever. But I find it quite weird the way in which the media are reporting him. They don't really use the words murderer very often or crazed killer, but they insist on using the term Islamophobe, and I find this a bit weird because he didn't kill any Muslims, he killed a bunch of white people, yet the media insist on calling him an Islamophobe, and I find that a bit bullshit. It seems as if there's a smear campaign going on against anybody who has anti-Islamic sentiment, and I just think that's ridiculous. And I have to say, I think there are many similarities the way in which if a Muslim man committed suicide bombings, a lot of people would then think Muslims are suicide bombers, and that's really fucked up. And I just don't think that if this was a Muslim man who committed these atrocities, that they would report it in the same way. I don't think they'd be calling him a Muslim every 5 seconds because they don't want to marginalise all Muslims, quite rightly so. But the media doesn't seem to have a problem marginalising anti-Islamists in the same bracket, and I just think that's really screwed up. I have to say, if I've learned anything in the last few days, it's that I actually have a lot more sympathy now for moderate Muslims, because it would be so easy, say, Friday's atrocities were committed by a Muslim. It would be so easy for people to look at the whole Muslim faith and think that they're all terrorists. It'd be quite easy to marginalise people like that, and I think right now it's very easily to marginalise all anti-Islamists. It's, again, I don't want to associate myself with this guy. I'm a left winger. I'm a socialist. Always have been. Always will be. I'm not a right wing person whatsoever. I just happen to be an atheist, and I don't like religion, Islam in particular, I guess. So I'm sick and tired of this idea that anyone who doesn't like Islam is on the path to mass murder, and that seems to be the case right now. And it's so irresponsible of the media the way that they're reporting this. I watch the BBC a lot, and I guess it's becoming more and more apparent that the BBC does have a political agenda. The kind of they're not even talking about people who like me, who have a problem with Islam, and they're not making any effort to make sure people don't put us in the same bracket as they would with Muslims. They don't. If this was a Muslim guy, they'd be saying the whole time, let's not forget this guy is on the fringes, he's not a moderate Muslim, he's a crazy son of a bitch. They would make so much effort to make people know that Muslim people aren't a threat, but they're making no effort whatsoever now to defend peaceful anti-Islamists such as myself. And I just think that's a bit screwed up, really. I think that also what I've learned is that the Muslim faith is quite similar to this anti-Islamist movement, in the way that there is a crazy, murderous minority in both sides, as we've recently seen last Friday. There's also a bunch of idiots who just believe whatever the fuck their imam says, and there's a bunch of racist assholes who just are along for the ride because they just don't like Muslims, plain and simple. But in both camps, the majority are peaceful, probably intellectual people who've formed their opinions by themselves. And I think that we should all recognise the moderate Muslims and the peaceful Muslims and try and separate them from the killers. And at the same time, we should also recognise peaceful, moderate anti-Islamists, you know, and not do all this stereotyping. So I guess my video really is just about how the media is happy to stereotype anti-Islamists, but they wouldn't dare stereotype Muslims. And also, yeah, I am starting to feel a bit more sorry for Muslims because, you know, let's all be fucking honest. There are plenty of moderate Muslims who do get a harsh stick from probably people like me. I've probably made a video too that was a little unfair on moderates. So I'm bit by bit moving away from this kind of anti-Islamic sentiment. I will still always hate religions, but I'm learning bit by bit not to hate the religion, but not the person. You know, I think there's a good metaphor for this is, as an Arsenal fan, I hate Man United. I fucking hate Man United. But I don't hate Man United fans the same way I don't like Islam, but I haven't got a problem with Muslims. So I think that we should, you know, be able to get some really good lessons from this whole thing, and that is that there are some crazy motherfuckers everywhere, but moderate people are not evil, murderous sons of bitches. And it's right that the media protects Muslims from kind of stereotyping, and the media should make more of an effort to protect people like me from stereotyping, because the last thing I'm going to do is fucking kill anyone. And you know, it's just crazy that I'm even trying to defend myself, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. And yeah, man, I feel so sorry for all the families who've lost loved ones, and I fucking really hate this guy because he killed young, like, innocent teenagers because they were politically motivated. I just think that's fucked up. And yeah, I want to separate myself from this crazed killer, and maybe some more Muslims should try and separate themselves from the suicide bombers. I'm a little off subject, but yeah, I find it quite funny how I'm really trying to separate myself from this guy. I have no sympathies for him whatsoever. I don't feel sorry for him, even though, yeah, maybe he might have had a point with the Islamization of Europe. I still don't give a fuck. He's a sick son of a bitch. But sometimes when there is a Muslim suicide bomber, or like 9/11, you'll get Muslims who are like, well, that's terrible, but... So yeah, now I'm going back against moderate Muslims when I started this video off defending them. Who fucking knows? Maybe I should shut up right now, but this guy was an asshole. The media should be fairer, and you know, rest in peace these poor Norwegians. So yeah.